Good morning, class. Today we begin with a new topic, a new subject, software engineering. We will be doing the first chapter, Introduction to Software Engineering and Process Model. So, to begin with, we will see in today's lecture what do you mean by software. Then we will see what is software engineering. We will also see the changing nature of the software. Then we will learn software process and the process framework. We will learn what are the umbrella activities and what exactly you mean by process adaptation. So to proceed with, we will see what exactly you mean by software. Now software comprises the entire set of programs, procedures and routines associated with the operation of a computer system. The term was coined to differentiate the instructions from hardware, that is the physical components of a computer system, and a set of instructions that directs a computer hardware to perform a task which is called as a program or a software program. Now let us see the dual role of a software. Now software as a product and software as a vehicle for delivering a product. Now what do you mean by software as a product? It delivers the computing potential across the network of the hardware. It also enables the hardware to deliver the expected functionalities. It is an information transformer because it produces, manages, acquires, modifies and displays and transmits the information which is needed by the hardware. So the software is a language with which the hardware will work. Now what is its role as a vehicle for delivering a product? Now as a vehicle, it will provide with the system functionality. For example, let's say I have a payroll system. Then what is the functions the payroll system has to do? How many users need to have? What should be the process with which the payroll system should work? So that is the role of the software. Similarly, it also controls other software. For example, let's say an operating system. So it will control the control panel, the software programs, the hardware, the CPU usage and all these things. So those are controlled by the software. It also helps in building other software. For example, I have a software tool or I have a software application which I use to develop some other application software. So in that case, the software will act as a delivery. So proceeding further, now we come to the point what exactly you mean by software engineering. Now it is an engineering branch which is associated with the development of a software product, used well-defined scientific principles, methods and procedures. And the outcome of this engineering is an efficient and a reliable software product. So software management has a wider scope than software engineering process as it involves communication, pre and post delivery software or support for the software given to by software engineering. Now proceeding further, we will see what are the objectives of software engineering. Now the basic objectives are, let's say to begin with, first is maintainability. So the software should be feasible for the software to evolve to meet the changing requirement. As the process changing, as the scenario changing, your software should be able to evolve with the changing scenario. Then the software should be correct. If the different requirement are specified in the SRS document, then it has to be correctly implemented with the requirements of the user. The software should be reusable. If the different modules of the product can be easily reused to develop new product. Let's say tomorrow I want to produce a new product from the existing software, then I should have the reusable components in that software so that I can reuse the same instead of creating a new one. Then the software should be reliable. It is an attribute of the software quality. The extent with which a program can be expected to perform its desired function over an arbitrary time period. The software should be portable. It should be transferred from one computer to another computer, from one environment to another environment. Then the software should be adaptable. In case software allows differing system constraint and the user needs to be satisfied by making changes to its software. Suppose he wants that he has created the software, but after a few months he wants to change it, then the software has to be adaptable. So these are some pre-objectives or some objectives of your software engineering. So proceeding further, we will see why the software is changing and what is the changing scenario of a software. Now, in early decades, when the computer technologies were in an emerging phase, only the development team, the authorized persons, and the company members had the source code of the software. And due to this, in any bug or any failure or any error in any kind of problem faced, the customer or the user had to approach the people who were in resolving the error. Now, this maintained the confidentiality of the source code, but the main problem was that the user were many and the people who developed or authorized the source code were only few. And so, due to this, it was impossible to meet the demands and the requirements of each and every user or a person. And so, to resolve this, the developers started making software which were an open source. Now, what exactly you mean by open source? It is a source code of the program which is developed by a person and is provided to all the customers and the organization. So, in case any problem or error occurs, the person having the knowledge to contribute to the software will help in resolving it. Also, when the customer felt the need to add some more features to the software, he will come up with a new idea to enhance the existing software, and then he or she would be able to do so freely. So let's begin with what exactly is a software process. A software process is a set of related activities that leads to the production of the software. Now, these activities may involve the development of the software from the scratch or modifying a previously existing system. Now, what are the process? First is software specification. So, this basically defines what are the main functionalities of the software and what are the constraints around them with which the software has to be developed. So, this is like taking requirements from the user, what exactly he wants in that particular software. The second step in software process is how should be the design and how should be the implementation of the software. So, how the software has to be designed, how the code has to be written, how the software has to be programmed so as to fulfill the needs of the user. Third step is software verification and validation. The software must conform to its specification and meet the customer need. So, is it totally verified with the software? Your software might be properly updated, but if it is not required or updated to the user, it is not a verified software. Then you need to check in validations whether the software is not able to take any irrelevant value or any values which are not relevant with the subject. Then last is the software evolution. Now, this is developing a software product using software engineering principles and methods, and so basically you are not developing a new software in actual, but you are trying to evolve a software from an existing or modifying an existing system. Now, what is a process framework? Now, a framework is a standard way to build and deploy applications. It is a foundation of complete software engineering process. The framework will include all the sets of umbrella activities, and it also includes number of framework activities that are applicable to all the software projects. We will be looking into detail all the umbrella activities in brief. So, proceeding further, look at the process framework here. Here this shows me what are the framework activities to be done. A task is set, then what are the tasks which the developer has to do, then what milestones or what should be the work product he has to define, and what are the SQAs. SQA stand for your software quality assurance point. So, some assurance or some quality you maintain and you try to reach that through this particular process framework. And overall, what are the umbrella activities which have to be conducted in order to define this software process. So, let's start with what are the umbrella activities. Now, umbrella activities are, first is your software project tracking and control. It can be your risk management, then maintain your quality, that is software quality assurance. Then what are the technical reviews, what are the formal technical reviews you want, what is the software configuration management, what is the work product preparation and production, and what is the reusability management and its measurement. So, let's see all the umbrella activities in detail. So, to begin with, first is software project tracking and control. Now, tracking and control is a dual process of detecting when a project is drifting off plan and taking corrective action to bring the project back on the track. So we need to take whether the project is going in the proper track. If it is not going in the proper track, what are the reasons? We try to rectify the reasons and then bring it back to the control. Then second is taking formal technical reviews. It includes reviewing the techniques that has been used in the project. This can be taken from the user also. So you try to involve the user at every stage of your software so that you get reviews at every step. The third is software quality assurance. It is important to ensure the quality measurement of each part to ensure that software is reaching up to the quality mark. Then is your software configuration and management. Now in software engineering, software configuration management is the task of tracking and controlling changes in the software, part of the larger cross-disciplinary field of configuration management. So I need to check whether the software has been configured, whether it has been maintained to make it portable and to make it adaptable. Now proceeding further, we see the fifth is document preparation and production. So all the project planning and the other activities should be hardly copied and the production has to be started. So from this stage you start with the actual documentation. Now is the reusability management. In this, backing up each part of the software project that can be corrected or any kind of support can be given to them, so it can be later updated or upgraded with the user and time demand of the software. Then is the measurement. With this, we measure each and every aspect of that software project and check whether it is up to the mark to the user, whether it is up to the mark to the time, and whether it is reaching the software quality. Then is the risk management. Now it is a series of steps that help a software team to understand and manage uncertainty. It is really good idea to identify it, assess it, and the probability of occurrence. We can estimate the impact and establish a contingency plan. So if there are any risk, what exactly has to be done? A plan has to be maintained in beforehand so that we can access the risk. Now this is a diagram which shows you all the umbrella activities in detail. So proceeding further, we come to what is process adaptation. Now predefined by the SDLC, that is a software development life cycle, individual software process often need to be adapted or tailor-made to better local needs. The organization contains innovation in technology, project size, product criticality, regulatory requirements, industry practices, all others determine what is needed to adapt the software. So adaptation of individual software process and software lifecycle models may consist of adding more details to the software process, more details to the activities, to the task and the procedures to address critical concerns. It may consist of using an alternate set of activities that achieve the purpose and outcome of the software process. Adaptation may also include omitting software process or activities from a development or a product lifecycle model that are clearly inapplicable to the scope of the work to be accomplished or which the user doesn't want. So adapting the process with requirements to the time and the user. So in today's lecture, we have seen what is the software, what is the software engineering, what is the changing nature of the software. We also saw the software process, we saw the process framework, the umbrella activities, and lastly we saw the process adaptation. For today's lecture, I have taken references from all these sites. To see you in the next lecture, till then, thank you.